Yes, people. How we all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Lion in the Room. I told you I got a special one for you guys. This is episode 30. A little hot in the room. The summer has been crazy. I think today was probably 23 degrees. That was the hottest. Now it's 16, but we got windows closed. You guys don't want to hear that. I'm your host, Leo Edoche, and today I got my special guest. Had him on before, had a few technical difficulties, but now you guys get to hear him perfectly and you get to enjoy the episode as well. Welcome, my boy BK, personal trainer. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. Thank you so much for having me again, man.
Nice. It's always a good thing to have you around because I feel like you're one of the people that I know that is on that deeper side of life. Like you're working, you're grinding, you're trying to make your own way for yourself, but at the same time, there's a certain level of diligence that comes in. Am I correct when I say that you are quite diligent with the way you handle your things?
Yeah, quite. Yeah, I try my best with that, to be fair. You know what? Thank you so much for those kind words.
No, of course.
But yeah, I feel like that's just the way we're meant to be right now in this day and age, actually. Just be diligent in every single thing that we do, and actually just wherever you put your focus on, apply pressure onto that. Put as much effort as you can and just chase it and just see where it goes, to be fair. So that's really what it's all about.
100%. I completely agree with you because there are just so many distractions, man. Like you really want to do your best because you've been inspired. Maybe it's a friend of yours, or maybe it's just someone you look up to. You're now making your way in that journey, but there are distractions, there are struggles, and a lot of these things are not things that you are in a way looking for. They just come, you know? So my first question to you, so we can just start this whole thing. My first question to you is, how did you build up the diligence that you have now in your life? I mean, we're all still learning, but explain to us.
I think, to be fair, it was a lot of it is all down to upbringing. I saw that in my family and my parents. I've got an older brother. I've seen that as well in his life as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also plans and goals I've got for myself in the future. I can't achieve those things that I've got set in motion, except if I'm diligent enough to actually follow through on it. So I feel like that's what's allowed me to really dig deep into being diligent in every single aspect of my life, really. And yeah.
Lovely stuff. You said you have an older brother.
Yeah.
Well, what does he do? Is he also into fitness as heavy as you?
Yeah, actually. The whole family is.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because fitness it's a lot. Everyone needs to obviously look after themselves, but one thing about fitness is it's not just fitness. It ties into every aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You're fit physically, you'll be able to perform obviously much better in your work, everything, relationships, the way you're going to be able to handle yourself, confidence level, all those kind of stuff. So yeah, it's so important. But I feel like my family really, when I really got into fitness and they saw the impact it had on my life, I feel like everyone in the family kind of obviously just took it up.
Just picked up on it as well.
Yeah, so me and my brothers, we train a lot. Me and my older brother, every single time we link up, we train quite a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's good.
That's nice, man. Who's the trailblazer between the two of you? Who's pushing? Who's leading? Who's leading the family?
I'm the personal trainer, man.
Yeah.
And now, of course, I lift more, whatever. But he does his thing. And he's his transformation actually has been amazing. He's lost quite a bit of weight.
Yeah.
Is stronger. So many things, honestly. Yeah.
Definitely.
Even my younger brother, my parents, they get into the gym as well. It's honestly so amazing, man. And it's good to see that I've inspired them to actually, get active. And everyone talks about, I go to the gym with my mom sometimes whenever I can. The whole family exactly is just, focused on actually, not just focused on just that, but actually sees the importance of, being fit. And everyone takes it on board, man. So yeah, it's good.
That's good to know, man. It's really good to see how your path in life has inspired the rest of your family to get into something that is still positive, that is still beneficial to their own lives. Yeah. When I said that trailblazer thing, it's very funny, and it's not even funny. It's a lovely thing to see. being able to push because you've been inspired by your family member, especially when it's an older brother. In today's day and age, I believe that the values between siblings are no longer expressed as much as they need to. More times than not, younger siblings are just seen as hindrances to the olders, if you know what I mean. So because of that, some people don't get the opportunities to be inspired. Some people don't get the opportunities to really learn from the siblings that came before them. But now we have you, and the action that you've taken in your life has also impacted your people around you.
Yeah.
And it's big ups to you, bro.
Nah,
I'll give you a quick story. Have you ever heard of, obviously he's a broadcaster, presenter, sports analyst, Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
Cool. So Shannon Sharp, he was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But before he got into the NFL, his older brother was also an NFL player.
Okay.
But unfortunately, he had like a terrible injury. Shannon's always believed, well, at least during the speech, he claimed and he said that he's always believed that his brother was the better player. And some of the brother's feats, some of the touchdowns, some of the scores, you know, I don't know the NFL too well, but he was a very good player, you know. And his younger brother Shannon comes out to say that, like, if you guys could do one thing for me, it would be to induct my brother into the Hall of Fame as well.
Oh, wow.
Now, anybody can come out and say those nice words, man, but I want to believe that his brother still pushed him. The life that his brother lived, you know, unfortunately, he had injury. He had that injury that literally stopped his whole career.
Okay.
But for the younger brother, he believed that he could push for himself and for his older. And they are where they are now. So it's always touching for me when I hear that, like, people are inspired by their siblings, be it your older sibling or your younger sibling. It's really nice, man. Praise be to you, bro. But
I appreciate it, bro.
people, we will be getting into the first segment. Stay on with us. Great. Here we are, people. Like I said, this is a lovely episode. I'm so happy to bring to you the 30th episode. You know, as we bring out more episodes, we keep getting better. But like I said, I got BK, personal trainer. So the first segment is going to be a quick one on fitness, exercise, bodybuilding, you know, the whole shebang. But I wanted to ask you a simple question that everyone can relate to, you know, workout plans.
Okay.
It seems easy enough to put together.
Yeah.
When you start going through those plans, you find out that one day is a lot more enjoyable than the other. So my question to you, broski, is what day do you hate the most in your workout plan?
Interesting. Before it would be legs.
Yeah?
Yeah, I used to hate leg day. Big time. First of all, the legs are the biggest muscle in the body. So it takes the most energy out. It's not nice. And it's not a nice feeling, especially the days after as well.
True.
Like walking up the stairs, sitting down, getting up. It's a long process, honestly. But not anymore, actually. I love it, man.
You love the legs?
I actually love training legs right now. Like,
you love the pain or you love the time it takes?
There's just something about it, literally, because I know how much everyone tries to skip it. And I'm like, I'm embracing it, like, right now. Because I know for a fact, for years, myself, I was training legs maybe once a month at most. Even. Yeah, once every other.
Just cleaning the dust off them.
Literally. And then I started to look like an improper fraction. Top heavy.
Wow.
And then, I was like, I need to sort it out.
So 8 over a 1, bro.
Yeah, literally. So I was like, let me start training legs properly. So I started training legs in like maybe 2-3 years ago properly. And then, legs have grown. And one thing people don't realize is actually you release the most testosterone when you train legs. So people that have got good upper body or whatever, and they've got no legs,
it's got low testosterone.
Whatever, they can actually grow more if they train legs because your body produces more testosterone when you train legs.
Okay. So when you focus on a like a large muscle group, you have more of an opportunity to gain more testosterone.
Overall, yes, overall. Like, which is obviously amazing as men.
Okay, really quickly, let me just quickly ask, what's so good about testosterone? Because some people may not know, you know, they hear testosterone in this day and age, it's like people are pushing a new definition of masculinity, but a lot of us do believe that testosterone that is naturally in us is important. But let's use this opportunity to understand why.
Yeah, that's the male hormone. Like, it literally it's also a hormone that actually is responsible for growth as well in terms of like muscle. In terms, that's also the reason why men have more muscle mass than women because of testosterone levels.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's also the reason why people take steroids and inject testosterone as well, because that's also a driver for growth. But testosterone does many things, honestly, even as like simple things as like your energy levels, even mood, so many things. And then of course when we talk about sexual life as well, it also plays so much of an impact. So what honestly the importance of testosterone is like so not spoken about enough. Like the percentage of men living in this present like day that suffer from low testosterone, it's honestly like ridiculous. People don't even know, man. Honestly, and people talking about, I'm hearing like men in the mid-20s, late 20s, saying they're struggling with like energy levels, they're struggling with this, and
That's true.
struggling with so many things. Some of them literally are struggling with low test levels. People are struggling like in like the issues like in the bedroom, all that kind of stuff. So many things anyway, man. So yeah.
And that's why you have all these products when you can just carry yourself to the gym, gradually start working out and building on that testosterone that you naturally produce.
Yes and no. Sometimes like sometimes some people are so deficient that the gym won't cut it enough.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Some people are just deficient that the gym won't cut it enough. And some people have like certain conditions that or what I say, yeah, certain conditions. Some of them have had certain previous illnesses as well that affects test levels. Take for instance, like I had a client that had suffered testicular cancer.
Okay.
He beat cancer.
Oh, lovely. Congrats.
Amazing. Great. But moving forward, it affected his test levels. He was producing half the amount of testosterone that a regular man of his age should be producing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So there's nothing in regards to how much the gym can actually affect and solve that problem. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So it's different. But yeah, in general, for the average man, eating well, sleeping well, lifting some weights, actually going to the gym, yes, you would boost your testosterone levels.
That just sounds like taking care of your body, like literally 100%. Just taking care of your body.
100%.
So maybe a lot of brothers just don't take care of themselves the way they need to. I mean, obviously, like guys don't get enough sleep. You think about this sometimes, bro, like because we all had the opportunities to go partying and stuff and all that, you know, it seemed like it was excused, but we weren't getting good sleep. You know, some of us had classes in the morning. I remember I'd go to Union Thursday. Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday Union. And I go like a Thursday lecture.
Yeah.
And like, depending on how nice the night was, you probably don't even get any sleep.
No, that's so true, man.
Sleep.
Straight back, yeah.
Wow.
And then obviously lifestyle also plays a role as well in terms of like those things. So drinking, drug use, all that kind of stuff also factors into that. But yeah, it's an interesting topic, and it's a topic that I feel like more light needs to be shed on, because 100%. I genuinely feel like loads of young men are suffering from it without even realizing they're suffering from it.
That's true. It's something that people need to know, because as we've mentioned, testosterone, there's also dopamine as well, you know, and it's already been tested, you know, your dopamine levels increase when you go to the gym or when you're working out, something like that.
Interesting, yeah.
I actually saw it. It was the first time I saw it was when I was going to my gym, Pure Gym here, like Caversham, and they had this little write-up on the wall talking about how your dopamine increases as you work out, and it's kind of just like, you know, it's like the feel-good hormone. I hope I'm really correct. I hope I'm explaining it well.
The feel-good hormone you're talking about is endorphins.
Endorphins. Oh no! Yes. Oh damn! Yeah, but they said something about dopamine
as well. Yeah, and because I'm quite interested in that, because I haven't. Well, maybe I should know about it, but I don't seem to.
I might just be waffling, bro. I hope I'm not, because I've definitely heard a lot of bodybuilders, pro fitness guys come out talking about dopamine and the gym in a positive way. You know, working out. Everybody says that working out and taking care of your physical fitness is actually good for your mental health as well.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know? So maybe I am touching on something there. But we'll get into the next question. You know, so obviously we I'll come out to also say, you know, I got big legs, but I dislike legs. I remember when I used to bang the gym, 2023, I was being really consistent. And walking up the stairs, bro, was not easy.
Yeah.
So they had the leg press on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Then you had like all the extensions upstairs. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
They want you to
true.
push hard
And then struggle up the
kill
stairs.
yourself up the stairs, bro. And I'm just like, wow.
That's
I need
so
to go
true,
speak with the
man.
manager. But, you know, we just make it work.
Yeah.
I actually started to like leg day when I was no longer afraid of pushing heavy.
Yeah.
You know, when I started doing squats, then it started to make a lot more sense. Oh, I see why ladies are here like 24/8, you know? But hey, we'll be moving into the next question. How far can someone make the most out of a short gym session? A lot of times, like me personally, I was in the gym like an hour 30. If I was pushing, I was there like 2 hours. Some people say you don't need to be there for too long.
2 hours.
Yeah, hey, chat to me, bro. Let me know what I'm
Damn,
doing
bro.
wrong. Honestly, honestly.
My honest opinion is, if you're in there for 2 hours, you're not pushing hard enough.
Yeah? Damn.
Because if you are pushing with intensity,
Mhm.
trust me, in 45 minutes to 1 hour, you'll be done. You'll be knackered. Like, you can't push more past that. That means if you're there for 2 hours, you're basically lifting 60% of what you can actually push yourself to do.
Okay.
Because think about it, if you're going like intense, like pushing yourself to failure in each exercise and each set,
You shouldn't be going up to even
you
an hour.
can't do up to an hour, 30
God.
minutes even. Like,
Oh no.
yeah, my sessions don't last more than an hour. Like,
Damn.
sweet spot between 45 minutes to 1 hour, depending on the session. Yeah.
Well, damn, because I always just felt like, now, okay, I got most of my fitness plan from Instagram. Like, once I started changing up my algorithm, I started seeing more personal fitness guys talking about, oh, this is the perfect split for you.
Yeah.
Talking about, oh, your 3-day split.
Yeah.
I saw the Mike Mensa split. I saw the Israel split, bro. And then they were talking about doing this exercise. You do your dumbbell incline, you do your chest press, you do your tricep pull down, you do your shoulder press, you do your military press. I was doing 3 exercises for each body group.
Okay.
At least, so when I was pushing, push day was chest, shoulders, and triceps.
Yeah, right.
I'm doing like 3 exercises, three sets, like 8 to 12 reps, you know? When you look at the bench press now, like I was probably pushing like 80 kg for like 12 reps.
Yeah.
And next thing I knew, at some point I was going into progressive overload. So maybe I wasn't pushing myself to the max.
Yeah.
Because I find that it's a lot easier to do that when you're working out with somebody as well.
Yes,
You know, when
definitely.
you got like a gym bro, you feel like you really max out the potential.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Big
Have
time.
you've seen that as well, man?
Yeah, big time, 100%. And you need to get to a stage. You need to get to a certain stage before you could actually like learn to push yourself without having someone there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes people never get to that stage. Like, they always get comfortable training by themselves, and never really, the fear of like, you know, really pushing themselves obviously seems scary to them, because they're like, I'm training by myself, and also, why do I need to do that? Like, I'll just chill. I'll just have a chilled session. But yeah, that's one thing though. But yeah,
I do see that, because the mind does tell you things. You know, you're on your ones, you're working out. You do feel like you can push more, but for some reason, this little bit of fear just trickles into your mind, and it's like, maybe I'm not just ready for it. It could be anything. For me, it was fear. You know, the fear of the bar coming down, or me actually pulling something, or tearing a muscle. But you never really know until you actually take yourself to that domain, you know, being able to just push as hard as you can. Man, I really enjoyed the gym when I started going a lot more consistently.
Okay.
I started talking to more people. There was a person there, you know, when you go to the gym, you see all kinds of people, but you see this buff bodybuilder guy, bald, in a what's
String
that?
vest.
Yeah.
A stringer.
And they're always ready to help you. Like that, you don't even call them. You know, I was there doing my lateral raises.
Yeah.
And he comes like an Eastern European guy, you know, with the accent. He's like, no, you need to do this. You do this. He bends me in there and tells, pause.
Bench you.
Pause. Relax. He just tells me the right thing to do.
Okay.
Don't do this, man.
He spoke you through it.
Oh yeah, he spoke me through it. Yeah. Okay. Don't do this, bro. Don't do this. He just gave me. He helped me with my form, and like, I might get you off this podcast, bro. You better relax.
It's good.
He was very helpful. The guy was very helpful.
You know what? Those people, yeah, take it with a pinch of salt. Like in terms of like, yes, they're very keen to help people. However, I actually find their knowledge on actual fitness and exercise is very, very poor.
Oh wow.
Because the person that you've described,
Yeah,
probably sounds like he's on gear.
true.
Yeah,
You know them boulder shoulders. You know.
yeah. He probably got back acne. He's
Maybe.
probably like bald because he lost his hair because of steroids, those sort of stuff. Yeah. So those people can just breathe and still pack on muscle. Yeah. So just because they look good don't mean they've actually got knowledge.
Mhm.
And that's what sometimes people fail to understand. Yeah. And sometimes people ask me like, oh, how do I know the perfect personal trainer to go for and all that kind of stuff? How do I know who was advice to follow? That's pretty what I'm basically trying to actually shed light on now. So just gauge it based on actually, well, I guess you need to, before anyone takes advice, you need to have a basic knowledge of certain things in the gym first before you can, and then if someone comes with certain advice, you can now like almost match it with like the basic knowledge that you've got and see, okay, how does that fit? All right, well, this is what I actually feel like I know about fitness, and this person's telling me about this. Does this correlate? Is this within the same spec or whatever? Then you can actually distinguish whether this is good information or bad information. But yeah, sorry to cut you off, but basically that's one thing that really annoys me in the fitness scene. Like, it's great because they're very welcoming.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are, and to be fair, actually, a lot of them are. And also, it probably comes from an egotistical point of view as well. They probably just want to flex, like, yo,
I know what I'm doing.
Look
where
at
I
me.
am.
Yeah, it comes that, and then the delivery and the actual knowledge that's being passed is just poor. And I'm just like, yes, you did this and you were able to grow muscle, fine, because you are using drugs to support this. However, someone that's just a newbie will do this and will fuck up their back.
Yeah, true. They might just injure themselves. Oh, wow, that is true.
So that's pretty much what I tell people. Just pay attention. Like, oh, of course, people are gonna try help and chip in terms of like knowledge and what to do and advice to in the gym. But just
Definitely, and to also still have your own set of knowledge, your own your own set list of information that you've sourced out. Don't just let anyone tell you what they think is best. Because at the end of the day, there are so many different things that cause you to give different types of advice. Body type, structure, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
So I completely get where you're coming from, bro. But in terms of knowledge, because I like how you mentioned knowledge. Some people feel like they know what they're doing. Some people feel like this is their time to bring in a new wave of bodybuilding or fitness. Have you heard of science-based lifting?
yes.
What do you think about science-based lifting? Because the way I see some people describe it, it's not as all numbers. It's not as all numbers and calculations to me. But what do you think?
I think science-based, so this is it. First of all, it's amazing science-based lifting has come about because one thing is that bodybuilding is getting studied and actually resistance training is getting studied. That's how science-based training, quote unquote, has come about because more research is being done on resistance training and it's amazing. Cool. However, I feel like we need to take that with a pinch of salt at the same time.
At the same time as well, yeah?
Exactly. Like, because I feel like now people are trying to reinvent the wheel with science-based training, scientific-based training, yeah? And I'm like, there's no need for that, yeah? We can just use it to guide us and now to like make some adaptations and some changes to how we already train, but we don't necessarily need to reinvent the wheel. Like, I feel like some people now are now coming up with, quote unquote, this is the best optimal exercise to grow your lats to grow your chest. If you're doing this exercise, it's not optimal to when you shouldn't be doing this and blah blah blah. All of this nonsense. And
do these guys even give reasons? They just tell you, "Yo, don't do this exercise, do this one."
They will be like, they'll cite one study. This study that was done with 30 lifters showed that the hypertrophy with lifters that did this range of motion got this result and this. I'm like, come on, all right, great, relax now, come on. Yeah, but however, one thing that's for myself, one thing I've actually picked up from science-based lifting, and I won't even call it science-based lifting. I actually just think it's actually just paying attention and like seeing and increasing my knowledge in this field. So I do read papers. I studied biomedical science in university. Like,
big ups.
When people tell me I've done my research, and I'm like, what research do you do? I watched YouTube video. I'm like, you've gotten someone's opinion. You've not done your research per se. You've just gotten an idea of what's going on. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just like my scientific background coming in.
No,
whatsoever.
you're not wrong.
Because when I hear people say, I've done my research about a topic or whatever, I'm like, what did you read? What books did you read? What articles did you cite? Did you like actually check out?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I done my research, but really my research was just I spoke to somebody. I read it. I listened to this YouTube. I watched this YouTube. I'm like, okay, cool. I think you've not really done your research or whatever. But in this field, I do research on certain things, like certain training techniques and whatever. And one thing that I've actually picked up of recent is the whole idea of doing too much volume and how that actually hinders our progress.
Oh, okay.
In terms of like, for years, the norm in bodybuilding or in lifting environment is you do as many reps as you can, as many sets as you can. You do that repetition sets. That's what grows muscle and all that kind of stuff. However, research has shown you don't need that much volume. Too much volume actually hinders your ability to actually even grow further. There's no even need for that. Like, in an average session, you probably need to do about 2 to 3 working sets of like for an exercise and keep it moving. Whereas previously people have been doing like 4 sets, 5 sets of an exercise or whatsoever. People are doing 10, 12 to 15 reps, like silly number of reps. And the research has also shown that, yes, doing those reps are great. However, you'll probably be better off lifting a little bit heavier and lifting with lower reps, like anywhere from 5 to 8 rep range would actually be the best, because you'll get the most growth stimulation for the muscle, and also your body's actually going to recover a lot quicker from it than when you do high volume of like 15 reps and so. Okay. So yeah, that's why I kind of take from like all these like quote unquote science.
It still sounds very good, bro. It still sounds very good, because at the end of the day, you got your facts and you can back it up because you've done the study as well. Truthfully, a lot of people do just pick up what they see on YouTube, what sounds nice, what sounds, the best to their ears, and they just run with it. So as you've thrown all of this out, man, you should just add this into your own channels, into your own page. Have like, I don't know, maybe like 10 seconds where you're talking about, I mean, you do, but you just add your own BK flair to it.
Yes, man.
So that like you're able to throw.
That's what we're talking about just off camera, isn't it? Like, with my fitness page and like social media presence, I actually just want to have a little rebrand and actually just express myself a little bit more, like just keep it raw, keep it authentic, because I feel like past couple of like years or whatever, I've just tried to fit into like this trendy topic that's going on, this trendy sound, trending audio, and just open to go right. I'm like, nah, none of that.
You're ready to make something new.
Want to just, refresh and just speak to the camera, get my personality out there, voiceovers, different things. Actually just connect with people, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So that's what I'm very keen on doing. So hopefully we get that soon. So yeah.
That's how it should be, bro. But as long as you're ready to do this kind of work, just shout me.
Yeah,
100%. Just shout me.
For sure, bro.
Oh, man. But people definitely check out BK's page. It's BK Fitness on Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, Fit with BK.
Fit with
Fit with
BK.
BK on Instagram, Fit with BK on TikTok as well.
Great. Fit with BK, sorry. There we go, people. Now, you know, like, as the years go by, things just keep changing. Things just keep changing. Like you said, way back then, everybody was so focused on repetition, pushing it to the max. And now people are telling you, you probably don't need to work out like that. What do you think about body positivity and the mindset around it in 2025?
Okay. All right. So this is a safe space, and I'm actually going to be very raw. And,
of course, no, be honest, bro. Be
honest about it.
You know, at the same time, be yourself.
Yeah, sweet. All right. So you see, body positivity, I'm all for it. I feel like everyone should love themselves, regardless of how you look, whatever shape, whatever way you look. Honestly, everyone deserves to love themselves. Love the body you're in. However, you should always want to better yourself at the same time.
I agree.
Yeah, because do not surround yourself with people that will tell you lies. Do not surround yourself with people that will make you, like, that will deceive you. Yeah. Or like just try and big you up for your ego, but not tell you the truth. Because I feel like that's what happens in society. Like, you've got a friend that you should encourage to take serious action in terms of fitness, do something, change the lifestyle, change the way, not necessarily change the way they look, but better the way they look and the way they appear. However, all in the name of body positivity, you're almost injuring them because you bang on about it so much, they feel like, I'm all right, I'm cool. Like, I'm still cool. Like, I'm like, I don't understand it. If you go, I'm talking about, and I feel like the women do it more. Like, they'll be like, oh, girl, no, you're perfect. Like, you're cool. I'm like, of course, you're a friend. Yes, 100%. And again, I am all for this. Like, every single person should love themselves. But whether you should strive to get better and, look after yourself the best way possible. Yeah. And all in the name of body positivity, people telling themselves, people lying to themselves. Like, you should make a change about your lifestyle, your eating habits, your movement patterns, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But all in the name of body positivity, you just don't decide to do anything because you're like, no, I'm all right. I'm cool. So,
it's not good. I completely agree with you, man, because first thing I can take from this is that a lot of people, without going into, I guess, those with particular disabilities and things that do stop them from pushing that far, is a lack of accountability. A lack of accountability, because I feel that as a person, as you get older, you learn from other people's experiences and yours. You start to make choices for yourself, regardless of what people have told you. And when it comes to how you take care of your body, there truthfully has already been a certain formula. You can't really sit down and not take care of yourself. And when it comes to people not telling you the truth, you realize that you're now not in a good space. You're not in a good social space. And it will gradually affect your mental. It will gradually affect the way you see things. If you get to a point and you realize that people were just telling you these things to make you feel better.
Yeah, but you know what it is? There's nothing worse. People lie to us.
Of course.
Human beings will always tell lies to each other. But there's nothing worse than us telling ourselves lies.
True.
You cannot tell yourself a lie. And people are doing that when it comes to body image, when it comes to things, not even just body image, scratch that. When it comes to their life and actually getting old of doing things right, people telling themselves lies. People telling themselves lies when it comes to like their discipline level. They're not disciplined at work. They're not disciplined with things in general. They're not disciplined with food. They're not disciplined with like staying active. People tell themselves lies like, oh no, it's because of this, it's because of that. Oh, they give themselves excuses. They justify the reasons why they are not doing so and so. They're telling themselves lies, and there's nothing worse than individuals actually telling themselves lies.
True, because a lot of that's just to cope, and it's like, why are you actually allowing yourself to cope? It's like you believe you have potential, but at the same time you believe that everything that's happening to you is unfair, but is also justified. as to why you sit in the position that you're in. My mom calls it this, you're sitting on your bum. It's basically just
exactly, man.
You're sitting on your bum.
Real.
And at some point in your life, you need to get up and you dust your bum
stuff.
and you just keep going. You just keep going. Man. When it comes to health and your body, I think this one's very simple. The bones in your body, after a time in your life, they don't get bigger. If anything, they start getting weaker.
They deteriorate.
They deteriorate. So for a person who likes to call themselves big boned, truthfully, you are just covering your skeleton with extra weight. Weight that you probably should not be holding, So I don't think that sounds very good. All in the name of positivity, when you sound I'm trying my best to be positive and at the same time be nice.
Yes.
Because it's not good, as guys. I was in boarding school, bro, and we had like a few guys that were fat, bro. Some guys that were big, and hey, some things were still bullying. But
yes.
Some bullying isn't allowed, truthfully. But you still need to call a person out,
100%.
As kids, we were evil, bro. You do their chop, bro. See our stomach,
honestly,
all
bro.
this kind of stuff. But nowadays, it's like, truthfully, you look at a person, walking up the stairs and they're breathing heavily, and it's like, are you okay? It's like, no, I'm fine. Probably just a bit exhausted, but you don't know that your body is also that fat is pressing onto,
it's affecting the organs.
Exactly, your organs, your lungs, things like that. It's not the best way to live,
Honestly, man.
And I still think we can still talk about people who don't put on as much weight, because at the end of the day, I feel like you're not protecting yourself. You're more susceptible to infections or diseases and things like that. You're just not strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking about body positivity and like my opinion that I've just shared, I would actually put a disclaimer. I grew up a chubby kid.
Yeah, we did say so in the last.
I grew up a chubby kid.
Drinking apple cider vinegar.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Literally, that sounded like the bar of Dave. Drinking apple cider vinegar.
I was a chubby kid. Apple cider vinegar.
Honestly, man. But you know what it was? Like, I remember going PE school, like going to PE, like in school, and sometimes I would wear my PE uniform underneath my school uniform.
Why?
Because I didn't want to get changed and see my man boobs, like my man tits.
The man boobs.
You know what I mean?
I get you, bro. Yeah.
Like, it was peak. It was dark. Genuinely. Like, I was doing that in the winter. Then obviously I couldn't do that in the summer because I'll be baking hot, bro. So what I'll do is, like, sometimes I'll change in the toilets. So the change rooms were our toilets. Sometimes I'll change in the toilets to avoid the man them, like, seeing that, laughing, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, 100%. Coming from that background, I feel like no one deserves to feel like that. So that's why I'm all for body positivity. Like, you should love yourself regardless and accept yourself for who you are, but work on making a change for sure.
Exactly.
Work on getting better and just be honest about it. And then, like, don't be around the bush and tell yourself sweet lies or whatever. Man. Just cut the crap, man, and just go straight into it. So
it's true. And that pushed you. Those things push you.
Big time.
It's better to want to go through a hard life or a hard experience that's going to improve you than for you to sit down, still be the same person. It truly doesn't feel nice. It truly doesn't feel nice. Yeah. But I like that. We'll move on to the next question. So have you faced any setbacks in your bodybuilding journey or your personal training journey? And how did you overcome them?
Okay, so setback in terms of, like, I wouldn't say I'm like on a bodybuilding journey. I feel like right now I'm just focused on just being. If someone said to me, "What style of training do you follow at the moment?" It's really hard to describe. I'll just say I'm just someone that loves to keep fit. And I lift weight, I run, I cycle, I play sports.
That's your life.
I box. I do different things. So I guess this is what people call hybrid athlete, I guess, right now. But what was the biggest setback was when there was a period of time where I put all my focus into my business. There was a point, and also this actually brings me to talking about, like, balance. I just feel like balance is not real. It's not a real thing. Everyone's like, oh, you need to have
balance, like work-life balance and everything. I feel like there's phases in life where certain priorities would come first, where certain things will come first, and certain things would take a back burner.
True.
And there was a period of time where, like, I think maybe for like 3 to 6, I'll probably say 4 to 6 months, I was so focused on like my personal training, like business. I was like, I wanted to get to X amount of clients. I wanted to like make X amount of money a month, so that I was so focused on it. And I will be real, I was training, maybe I got to a point where I was like delivering about 26 to 20 to 28, maybe a little bit more, even just shy of 30 actually. I'll say probably, yeah, just shy of 30 PT sessions a week. I was in the gym a lot, but I went like 4 weeks without training.
Wow.
I was in the gym. I was training clients.
But just not training
I was just
yourself.
not training myself. I was just burnt out, man. I was working so much, like, and I was just so focused on that. So I was doing like 30 hours of personal training. And anyone that knows the lifestyle of a personal trainer, when I say to someone, I'm working 30 hours of personal training session, a PT, so that's 30-hour PT sessions. You are like, you only work 30 hours. I'm like, bro, it's not that. Like, it's not just 30 hours, man. Like, it's not, we don't work 8 hours back to back. We don't do like a 9 to 5 where it's just a constant. It's broken. So sometimes I will start in the morning, I'll go home, I'll come back, it's commuting time. It's also follow-up, it's also preparation for the sessions, writing programs, following up of clients, checking up, accountability, check-ins, all of that stuff adds up. So it's not just a 30-hour working week, it's probably like, put it together, maybe like 45 of what hours working week or so. And I was so much in there, I was just like, yeah, I couldn't bother to train. I was training my clients. I was not training myself for like about 4 weeks, man.
Right.
And then, yeah, I was like, damn. Then I started to see. I was like, oh, no, I need to sort it. I need to sort it out. So what I did in that moment there was I got a membership in a different gym where I didn't work. So I'll train my clients and I'll go to a different gym where no one knew me.
Yeah, and
I'll just train and I'll just do my thing and just have my AirPods on and then just
you just feel good, man. You feel sublime.
And that was the only setback I would say I've had. And then obviously you've got personal life situations that happen where you might have to take a week off because you're busy with other stuff. But luckily for me, I haven't had any injuries. I train very smart. I train very like well in terms of like form, technique, all of that.
Nice.
I've been training for 7 years. 7 years, I say 7 years of training, and I've actually never had an injury. Funny enough, the only injury I've had didn't even come from lifting.
What's that?
I had flu and I sneezed so hard I sprained my rib. I know, trust me, it's crazy. I had a terrible flu and I sneezed so hard and I sprained a rib. And that took like 3 weeks to recover.
Well, was I sneezing or was I coughing? I coughed so hard I think I blew a blood clot in my eye.
Oh my days.
One, I coughed again, did the second one.
No way.
I couldn't go to work.
For real?
My manager was asking,
You all right?
I said, I'm good. I don't know what happened to my eye, but
damn.
He's like, you can't work today. You need to
go home.
Like, customers are looking at me like, what's up with this brother? What's good with you, right? I'm fine, sir. What kind of trousers are you looking for today? No, I get that, man. Yeah. I thought you were gonna say like, the universal shoulder injury that every brother be getting.
No, actually, no. But I look after myself though. I also do like I call it a full body MOT. So I go physiotherapist that I go to. So I go to like a physio
lavish
every now and then.
BK lavish.
Ah, come on, man. You only have one body, you need to look after it like big time. So I go to my physio maybe once every. I haven't been to him in ages, which is a good sign because he always says if you don't have to come to me regularly, it means you're doing good. So I guess I'm doing mobility stuff, all that kind of stuff, strengthening certain muscles and like tendons that need work and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I do get physio like every now and then, and all of that prevents all the injuries, man. So been good.
Nice. Man. You can't afford physio, just make sure you stretch.
Yes,
make sure you stretch
well, strengthen, And then most people with the shoulders is the rotator cuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So everyone is like, oh, my shoulder is messed up.
They're just
I got the shoulder. So you've got this. There's a muscle in the shoulder called a rotator cuff muscle, and for a lot of people, that muscle's weak. So you strengthen that muscle, you would have healthier shoulders.
Okay.
And yeah, that's one of the things people fail to understand. And obviously, most people in shoulders, when it comes to shoulders, they probably get the injury sometimes from like flared elbows when they do certain exercises or just putting the shoulders in vulnerable position, to be fair. So you just pay attention to that, and then yeah, you should be able to fix your shoulder pain.
We learning. Yes, people. Like I said, episode 30. I do hope you've been enjoying this episode, people. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. I had to leave it at the end. I felt like I used to say that so many times before, but I'm going to say it once in a while. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's the second time. But hey, people, do your thing. This is me and BK. Broski, we're now in the final segment just before our conclusion. So I do have the deeper questions. I feel like every question I've asked you is kind of deep though, because it's an opportunity for people to learn. But now we're going to talk a bit more about the struggles. You know what a person is talking about when they say vices, struggling with their vices and indulgences, basically addictions, or the things that cut you along your journey, the things that stop you from focusing, procrastination, like you mentioned, smoking, drugs, alcohol, bad planning. Have you fallen into any of those vices recently? And if not recently, how did you overcome them starting early on?
All right. So I think those vices that you just mentioned, those vices, what ties them, or what would I say? Let me rephrase this. So those vices that you've mentioned, yeah, it all comes down to how much you want what you're trying to achieve. If you get what I mean.
I get that, because, sorry to cut you in, it's like you're trying to say, if you want, like, depending on how bad you want to be physically fit, it's a lot easier to drop some of those vices.
Yes. Obviously, I'm not saying just because you want it so bad means that those things would never become an issue, would never become a temptation or struggle or whatever. No, not so much. But it would just channel you to dig deeper, to actually resolve those vices that you just mentioned, and actually fight and like try to combat those vices. You know what I mean? If you want something bad enough, you're gonna dig deeper, because those things that you've mentioned, like procrastination and all those kind of stuff of like just, sometimes just being lazy, no motivation and whatsoever, you would have almost like a reason behind it. Like, okay, this is what I'm trying to achieve, so I need to sort this out. I need to push through. And I think when it comes to all works of life, actually, don't rely on motivation. Be disciplined. Like, motivation comes and goes, man. Like, motivation comes and goes with every single thing. Like, even probably think about it in terms of like when we're in uni, we had spells where we're motivated in our uni days, and you're like, yes, and then at some point you're like, oh,
can't be
it's long, man. Literally. And what kept us going was because we're not quitters. We wanted to finish what we started. That's what kept us going.
That's true.
Yeah. And we're disciplined individuals in that sense of like, we hold certain values for ourselves. Yeah. That's exactly the same thing that we need to take in every work of life. And when it comes to like fitness and staying active and keeping fit in general, just understand the reason why. And one of the recent conversations I had with my client, painting you a picture of who he is, but he is in his mid 40s, late 40s, and he just had a newborn. And he was like, I was having a conversation with him, and it's like, BK, I feel like the reason why I'm training is different now. Like, I'm not training for whatever, just to look good when I go on holiday or whatever. Nah, I want to train so that when he turns 5, when he turns 7 and wants to go to the park and run around, I can chase after him. I can chase and play with him. That's my reason now. And I was like, damn, that's deep. Like, you know what I mean? It all varies for different people, you know what I mean? I was like, wow. It's because he was like, yeah, I'll be well in my 50s I want to be able to keep up with him when he's like, oh, let's go play football. I want to be able to get active and follow him and do those things. And there was an also moment, and every single time, don't get me, I'm there to keep him accountable. But now he's told me that piece of information. I use it when I'm keeping him accountable. I'm like, yo, this is the reason why you're doing this. Of course. So when you're struggling with procrastination, when you're struggling with like, you know, just not being asked to do the task or whatever, bro, you remember what you told me? You said you wanted to be in a position where you can actually keep up with your son in 5-10 years time.
Yeah.
Well, it starts now, and all this, it's a compound effect. So you need to make sure all these things that you're struggling with, you know, you beat them on a day-to-day basis. And I feel like those struggles, those vices you mentioned, it's an ongoing battle, man. We never, ever, ever like win one time and then that's done.
It's never done.
No, 100%. You still face procrastination 100% here and there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and it all varies as well on external influences and external factors, what's going on in your life, whatever, you know, sometimes we might meet a nice, beautiful woman and we're in a relationship now. That procrastination is going to come about.
It's like you just relax, bro.
You just like,
you just slide in there.
You're like, oh, what else? Come on, man. You chilled and then you just like, you
Can't let that
procrastinate a
happen.
little bit instead of like, you're finding some time for yourself to do something active, something beneficial for yourself. You're probably like, oh, nah, man, I could do this. I can just chill.
True. You feel as though the job's done.
Yeah.
The job ain't done, man.
But you know what? Let's speak about that briefly. Like how men think in that regards.
Of
Because
course.
I actually have seen a lot of men like lose themselves when they get into a relationship, and the aftermath is bad because oftentimes when they actually lose themselves in a relationship, they end up losing the woman in the relationship at the end.
Because she no longer sees the guy
What?
she was attracted to.
There you go.
Man.
Come on.
That's
That's what it is.
This is me. Like, I'll also add this. As people, man, woman, you know, there is a master plan. There's a way this thing is meant to go. When you find a beautiful lady, a lady's found a good-looking man, a successful man, people feel as though you can start a life with this person. Cool. When you now get into these relationships, or girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, whatever you want to call it, along the line, some people feel as though they found that reason, or as though they have reaped the fruits.
Yes.
You know, of all that hard work.
Yeah.
But you're just getting to another stage.
Yeah.
Because now you're gonna need a lot more dedication.
100%.
You got babes telling you you're looking so good, oh this, oh that. You're looking at yourself, you're like, probably let myself down a little bit, but she makes me feel good. You keep on going. And the next thing you know, you're just letting yourself go. I love how you mentioned discipline, because it seems like it can happen to anybody and everybody, but discipline is what separates the strong-willed man from the comfortable man.
Yes.
A comfortable life is fine, but a hard life is going to bring you so much more. So, I don't think people need to feel like the job is done. You keep on pushing, because for guys, your lady will continue to respect you, love you more for that dedication, diligence, discipline. You don't have to increase in size every year, but as long as you are the same person up here, then damn, bro, she's gonna keep you in here like
100%.
forever.
Big time.
I think you get a lot of respect for it. You get a lot of respect for it, and as a man, you need respect.
Yeah,
you need that.
Think about it in terms of like what do women want from a man. Is like one of the things is like, without them even saying it blatantly, women might say it, and different women will say it differently, but it all comes down to they want a man that is disciplined.
It's discipline, man. It's discipline that really just sets apart the boys from the men.
Yeah.
You better subscribe.
Yeah, man.
You
dropping
better
bars,
subscribe.
bro.
Oh, because it's really true, man. It's really true. I really just like how you put this, because discipline is what really pushes you or keeps you on that road. You know, sometimes you're gonna meet the people that are ready to just quit. You know, you're gonna meet the people that are ready to take that shady road.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet those people that are gonna, you know, walk past you and keep going on that narrow, tight road.
Yeah.
And damn, the end results will always be different.
Yeah.
But on the inside, you will always know the truth. You will always know what you strived for, or whether you begged for a handout.
Exactly, man. Big time, man.
I'm liking this, man. But people, we've gone in for a while, and I'm loving it. But BK, really quickly, if you can answer this quite briefly, how do you see the future of bodybuilding and fitness evolving, especially with the influence of social media and online fitness courses? Like you mentioned, science-based lifting. To me, I see people taking trends as an opportunity to, you know, make some form of monetization for themselves, sometimes without speaking the truth.
Yeah.
And you look at social media, a lot of people showing the highlights of their peak physique.
Yes.
Some people now feeling like they can never reach that. So what do you think? How do you see the future?
So, first of all, AI will change the game. AI is already changing the game in terms of how accessible knowledge is. Now you don't need to search YouTube video, watch this person. AI, if you say to AI, I want to grow, I want to build some muscle, I want you to create me a plan, AI would do that. The only issue why I feel like the only positive for myself as a personal trainer, online coach, why I feel like AI will not replace my job is because my job goes far beyond just creating workout plans.
Interactions.
It's the interaction, it's the accountability, it's the fact that I'm able to like factor in lifestyle that a client has, or external factors that the client might be having, and actually adapt that with the workout plan and structure and all that sort of stuff. However, AI would make it very accessible for just general public to actually just break into fitness. 1. 2, I feel like obviously we're seeing a big rise in calisthenics right now. Calisthenics is going to be the big thing.
Yeah.
It's already the big thing that will carry on. Obviously things like IROX as well is blowing up. It's amazing. It's great. Actually, fitness in general will become popular, and it already is. I think there's some stats that came out maybe earlier this year. Our generation right now, our age group right now, are the most fit, or something along the lines of like probably the most fit that they've had in a couple years. In terms of like we go to the gym more. Yes, there we go. We spend more time at the gym than the previous generation did, whilst they were in the pubs, were in the gym, this sort of stuff. So it's cool to be fit now. And I'm gassed because I've seen women training, women lifting serious weight. It's so good, man. I feel like fitness is on the rise, man. Like everyone's talk. I literally was like a wedding reception earlier today, and everyone's talking about what they're doing to keep fit. It's a cool thing now, man. Everyone's understanding the benefit, or like, yeah, not just the benefit, but also the social aspect of things as well. People joining run clubs. People feel like they've got communities with all these activities they're doing, like whether it's the gym, run. Some have cycling groups. Some of them have like hiking groups, all that kind of stuff. So I think the fitness scene will continue to grow. Communities would continue to emerge from that as well.
Lovely.
And yeah, I'm excited for it, man.
That's great, man. People are seeing the benefits and seeing how important it is. But people, we have reached an end. BK, I'd love to thank you. I really want to thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. We
appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Of course, bro. Of course. You've given us some insight that a lot of people may not have the opportunity to hear because they have their own speculations and their own assumptions of the fitness world, feeling as though they may not be able to enter it, or it's just not for them. But from what we've discussed, it sounds like all you need is discipline, and a little bit of personal value, self-worth, believe in yourself a lot more, because this is an opportunity that only you can take. This is an opportunity that only you can maximize, and you will look good doing it. So
yes, indeed.
I don't know what else to tell you guys, man. But BK, honestly, I really appreciate this. People, This has been Lion in the Room, episode 30, the special episode. But do not worry, more episodes will be coming as consistent as can be. If you are enjoying it, do not forget to also like my Instagram channel, lions_in the studio. Yeah, I'm probably gonna change that. But if you type the Lion in the Room, you will find us on Instagram. Same thing on YouTube and Spotify. People, do not forget to stay bold. This is a life that you can only live for yourself, and you have to live it with your 2 feet solidly on the ground. Stand firm. I trust God.
On your 10 toes.
10 toes, stand firm, and I don't know, stand on business.
There we go,
man. I like
Stand
that.
on business.
Stand on business. And walk with your chest up high, man.
Always. Take care, people. God bless you, and peace.
Nah, that's good though, because you know you're an OG. Because it used to be BK Fitness.
Oh,
before BK. So that's how you know you're an OG. No apologies, man. You're an OG. So it was the first page I opened was BK Fitness. Then I had a little rebrand and then changed to Fit with BK. And then yeah, man, that's good though.